In continuing to unpack the machine, you can remove the cover from the rotary hook arm, which should slide right off. Also separate the thread tree posts. So this packaging has to be removed, as well as the tubular arms that attach to the X carriage to hold the hoops. Finally, we're left with the thread stand itself, which is also covered in a protective bubble wrap. So you can carefully remove the protective bubble wrap. You can see the tape isn't really is strong enough to hold it, hold it in place, but it's not so strong that you can't peel it away, and that makes it a lot easier. And the thread tree is attached by the tubes, so you want to remove this, hold it in place as you remove the bubble wrap. And at that point is a good idea to go ahead and install the felt pads once we've exposed the thread base. So the felt pads are sized for large king cones, 5,000 meter cones, and we'll go ahead and place them here as soon as we've removed the protective cardboard over the thread base. Try not to disturb the tied off thread here, as it holds the thread coming out of the right holes in the thread tree, saving you a lot of time on installation. You can carefully set the thread base aside, drop your felt discs, center them as well as you can. Now we can unpack the thread post for the thread stand. These are 2 steel posts. And at this point we'll need a couple of tools that you can get out of your operator's toolkit to continue the installation and setup. First thing you're going to need is a 3mm Allen wrench. Install each of the posts on the front and the rear locations. Start them by hand. Turn them until they're snug. At the tops of the posts are holes that you can insert the shaft of the 3mm Allen wrench. The one that comes in your kit has a blue handle, but insert the shaft and use it as leverage to tighten both of those posts. And then remove the 3mm Allen screw at the top of each post, so that you can install the top of the thread tree. So you only need to loosen them, and then you can pretty much twirl them off with your fingers. You can now place the thread tree carefully on top of the posts. There isn't a slot, you just want to align it on the crossbar so that the hole is over the screw hole of each post. Then carefully insert each screw so that it aligns with the hole of the post. Just start up with your fingers so that you can tell that it's threading nicely. Tighten each screw with a 3mm Allen wrench. And make sure the thread tree doesn't wiggle or isn't loose. Next, remove the safety shipping collars, which prevent the head from moving inadvertently left or right. These lock the head in place during shipment. They cannot be in place while the machine is operating to allow freedom for the head to move left and right. There's one on this side and one identically on the opposite side of the head. You can remove them with the included Phillips screwdriver that comes with your toolkit. Be sure to hold on to these in case you need to transport your machine in the future. Next, while we're at it with the Phillips screwdriver, you can slide the X carriage forward by hand, and we want to be able to swing the control panel to the full forward position. There's a Phillips screw right here at the base, and there's also one underneath. So by moving the X carriage forward, we have room to loosen the screw with a conventional screwdriver underneath. Now you can swing this forward. If you prefer, you can lock it into place at whatever angle you prefer. We'll bring this to the full forward position and leave it there. Also know that the control panel has thumb screws that you can loosen to also adjust the tilt of the control panel for ideal viewing. Next, we'll install the tubular arms. So unwrap them from the packaging as you found them on the top of the embroidery machine. There's one for each side, and you're going to insert them into the appropriate slots and then tighten each of the 3mm Allen screws. Most hoops use the 360 position, which spaces these arms 360 millimeters apart. So you'll notice that the decal is marked 360 for the third and fourth slots from the center. So center your Allen screws onto those slots and just push it all the way back until it's flat up against the sash. Then you can tighten each of those Allen screws. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And again, with a 3mm Allen wrench, either the blue-handled one that came with your kit or one that you happen to have, just tighten each of these Allen screws on both sides. At this point, your machine is now assembled and ready for you to install thread.